Women's Six Nations 2021, two hidings again, but interestingly, kind of both game of two halves style games, in that neither was a rout for the whole 80. England took the second half to really open up the Italians, whereas Ireland came out with a hiss and a roar, and then it settled down a wee bit against the Welsh. But I'll go over some of the key events, some of the thoughts, some of the stats, and you guys can let me know your thoughts on how things went. Thankfully, I was able to see more than just the highlights this time. But, good watching, if not close. Yeah, but it's sometimes just the way it goes. The first game, England against Italy, it starts off, and it's weird because Italy were actually looking okay. And the first two tries they concede to both Scarrett and Fleetwood, which is really made from Jones, so both the English midfielders, are from drop ball. They actually have the ball, and England just pounce on loose ball and just tear up down the field to get tries. So it's a weird one because they're 14-0 down. Italy having not really had that many bits where they were kind of get opened up. The Italian fullback did pretty well to try and chase down Jones for that second try, but it was all in vain because she got the ball away to Fleetwood. Interestingly, Scarrett got yellow carded for a high tackle towards the end of the first half. Italy opted for 3, so 14-3, it's still game on, but then they conceded a penalty not long later. So the yellow card was actually 3 apiece at that point, which is not the best use of the extra woman on the field. Second half, Italy conceded the first penalty as well, so it's 20 points to 3, and then all hell breaks loose when Italy, their halfback, gets yellow carded for giving away a maul penalty. I think it's a bunch of penalties conceded, the cynical one at the maul. And as soon as England get the extra player on the field, oh my goodness. Dow gets 2, Matthews gets 1. No, she sets it up to Miller Mills, actually. It's a big carry and offload from Matthews. And then Roland gets 1. They score 28 points during that yellow card. It's about as dominant a yellow card period as you will ever see. And then to make matters worse, Italy get another yellow card with about 10 minutes to go for collapsing a maul. And then Cleal, McDonald, and Davis all get tries. Cleal is one from a maul, kind of to be expected. Likewise, Davis, and then McDonald's a nice just little snipe and dummy. How many points did they score during the yellow card? Was it 7 tries or something? Stupid amount of points. It's just the floodgates absolutely opened. Big bonus point win for England. They've kind of romped home in both their games. They're top of Pool A. Big win over Scotland, big win over Italy. They get the next round off. I've heard some things about maybe there's going to be issues with travel again with the COVID thing in certain countries. I think France is on Ireland's restricted list now, which is going to make things a bit difficult. But yeah, man, when you looked at the stats, England had 60+% possession and territory. Duca, the lock for Italy, made 20 out of 21 tackles. But it was all a bit in vain, really. I think, overall, England, man, just look the business. What are you going to do against a performance like that? The second game, and Parsons has a stupidly good game in this one for Ireland. She breaks 13 tackles. The next best Irish woman has 6. It's the opposite, like I mentioned, because Ireland kind of go bang, bang, bang early. The first one, and it's pretty much straight from the first Welsh kick. Ireland go 11 phases relentlessly and get it to Constantine, who gets the first one. Parsons gets the next one, and that one's just pretty much going from a scrum on the right, pass, out to the left. It's 12-0. The 15-minute, was it 13? That try was a bit concerning because Wales actually did pretty well to get a breakdown turnover. But you could see, because they were in their own half and had been under the pump, all they were thinking was get the ball out of here now. And it was quite obvious that as soon as they passed the ball back, they were going to kick it. Ireland read it, and then the kick got charged down. And it's from there that the Ireland set up a cross kick to get it to Parsons. So, yeah, 17-0. Considine made Wales's defence look pretty bad on 17 minutes. 24-0, it was the bonus point within 17 minutes. Naupoo got one from a scrum. Again, the scrum was looking pretty solid. They almost had another one before half-time, but it was 31-0. That one got TMO'd as kind of losing control against the base of the post, but that doesn't count anymore. So, yeah, 31 was looking pretty hairy, and it could have gone to a scoreline like that. But then Welsh defence really tightened up in that second half. They even had their own kind of small period of pressure, but they ended up knocking it on, which is unfortunate because they get nilled in the end. I was impressed with Wales' ability to kind of just hold out under relentless Irish pressure. They got a couple of good turnovers or on their own goal line. Like, they're not just, throwing down tools. They're quite happy to keep fighting. And Ireland sometimes would knock on an attack to be their own worst enemy. So a bit of a combination of both. They finally score. Ireland in the second half. Deadlock's broken. It's the blindside flanker to make it 38-0. Great conversion from the sideline. And then the fly half, is it Tyrell? Gets one right on full time. Good conversion again. It's the Welsh girl, again, I forget which one it was, went in really high on a tackle and should have gone low. 45-0. The possession territory is pretty much the same as the England-Italy game. It's like 60s to 30s. Like I mentioned, passing all those broken tackles was crazy good. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how things play out. Like I mentioned, England are 2 from 2. France have only played the 1. They're 1-0. They're going to play Ireland, assuming that goes ahead. That should be a good game on paper. Like, I've seen Wales get 2 hidings from France and from Ireland, so I'm kind of liking the look of those two going together. And then Scotland and Italy have both got hidings from England, so I'm kind of liking the look of those two going together. So I'm hoping to see a kind of closer game, but sometimes that's just the way things pan out, like I mentioned. Sometimes it is a bit of a hiding. Credit to Wales for not getting done by 60 points in that second half when they, as I said, could have maybe, checked out a bit, but they didn't. Credit to Italy for a good performance in the first half, but man, if you give England an extra player, you're asking for absolute trouble. But yeah, interesting times in the Women's Six Nations. I do look forward to seeing a bit more. We'll see how things go. You guys let me know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See you later.